everyone. Robert Faringo with Doc Sports here with Nolan Patrick of Strike Point Sports, your hump day hero, ready to talk a little NBA basketball. First, look up, get free $60 on your account to use towards any handicappers picks at www.docsports. That's right, no one sees it. At www.docsports.com. All right, Nolan, you've won 4 out of 5 days, back-to-back NBA winners, but we have the break, the All-Star break coming up this weekend. Where are you at in this NBA season? Are you looking forward to maybe taking a few days off, being able to decompress a little bit? Or when you're running well like this, are you like, keep them coming, man, don't take that break? How you feeling?
Well, we're in a rhythm right now, so I would like to keep going. I'd like to keep rolling, but, I understand we got to let these NBA guys, we got to let them get their break. They got to get their week off in the middle of the season. But it does allow us to recharge our batteries and prep for the second half of the year. But we're here at Strike Point Sports like you are. We're really excited about the second half of the year.
Yeah, talk about being on a roll. The marquee game on Wednesday night is Utah at Philadelphia. As we have touched on in 2 weeks, Utah is, in fact, a godless killing machine. They have the best record in the NBA. Philadelphia has the best record in the Eastern Conference. However, both of these teams have slowed down a little bit. Utah is coming off a loss. They gave up almost 130 points and lost at New Orleans. They've lost 2 of their last 3 games. Philadelphia has actually lost 5 of its last 10 games, including that weird loss last weekend at home to Cleveland as a double-digit underdog. These teams may be running on fumes heading into the All-Star break. What do you see with this one?
It's interesting when you talk about Philadelphia losing to Cleveland. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's the second time that they've lost to Cleveland this year. So they have a couple of losses this year that just leave you with your head scratching. I think it's a great time for these two teams to play. It's the last game before the break for both of these two teams. The Jazz are currently 25-10 against the spread. Philly's 15-3 at home. It's going to be just an awesome, awesome game to watch. They've already played once this year. Utah beat them 134-123. Philly was an 8.5-point underdog, though, because Joel Embiid did not play in that game. We're hoping we see him playing in this game, and we think it's just going to be an absolutely outstanding game between the two teams.
So we have the unstoppable force of Utah and the immovable object of Philadelphia playing at home. Does that make this a throwaway game for you, just one to sit back and watch for the entertainment factor? Or do you think that there's going to be a little bit of value in this game?
I would stay away from the side, to be completely honest, because you can absolutely make a very intelligent argument on both sides of this game why you would take both teams. Philly beats everyone in Philly. Whether there's fans there or not, Philly wins at home. Utah beats everybody, plain and simple. So I personally would stay away from the side. I do see value on the total. The first 2 times these two teams played, the total was 225, 226. I see it being a little bit higher than that because I'm assuming that Joel Embiid is going to play. See it up around 230. I would still lean the over there. So if I was going on that game, I would look at the total as opposed to the side. Cheer for both teams. Yay, points.
All right, the second game that we're going to talk about is going from like these 2 powerhouse teams. We have 2 teams at the opposite end of the spectrum, but still kind of an interesting game with Brooklyn going to Houston. All right, this is the return of James Harden, right? And we couldn't have teams going in more opposite directions right now. Brooklyn, I was one of the naysayers when they made that trade to add Harden into the mix. I just didn't see how it was going to work out. And to be completely honest with you, we still haven't seen a long stretch where all 3 of their superstars have been on the court at the same time. Right now, they're just doing it with Harden and Kyrie Irving. But they are doing it, all right? They're 9-1 against the spread in their last 10 games, and they are surging. Then we have Houston, who has lost 12 straight. They're 1-9 against the spread. The books have just not adjusted these numbers for either one of these teams because Brooklyn keeps covering and Houston keeps losing against the spread. What's going on there?
Houston has not looked the same since Christian Wood got hurt. They're just
is Christian Wood the MVP of this season because they were unbeatable with him. He goes out and now they can't win. Like, What's up?
I love Christian Wood. I absolutely love Christian Wood. I had him on my fantasy team last year, and he did amazing things for me. I kind of wish the New York Knicks got Christian Wood in the offseason. He's just a very good player. He brought a lot to Houston. He's a tough mismatch for teams. He spreads the floor. He shoots the three. He's good. He's a very underrated ball player. But now Houston stinks. They just stink. If Kyrie plays, and you never know if he's going to play, hurt shoulder, hurt this, hurt ego, hurt whatever, hurt flat world, I don't know. But if he plays, that's going to be a double-digit line, no doubt about it, and I'm still all over Brooklyn. Houston has lost, would you say, 12 games in a row, I believe. They've lost their last 5 games by an average of 21.4 points. They lost to Memphis by 49 points.
Off.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but again, that's the interesting thing is that the books have not adjusted to the fact that this team is just terrible at life. And you mentioned it. If they are double-digit underdogs, and they will be, they'll probably be an 11 or 12-point home underdog to Brooklyn. This is going to be the first time that they're catching double digits throughout this losing streak, I believe, or at least in their last 10 games. Is it getting to that point, or when does it get to that point where the books over-adjust, okay? They start inflating those numbers on Brooklyn a little too high, and start giving Houston a few too many points. Because through a lot of those games, not only have they not had Wood, they haven't had Gordon, Oladipo, and Wall on the court at the same time. Now, you would think with those 3 guys healthy and playing together, that's at least a competent NBA team. So, again, where is that tipping point where the value starts to get sucked out of Brooklyn and starts to go on to Houston?
When Vegas takes a break during the All-Star break and really takes a look at these two teams, I actually could see Brooklyn getting overvalued a little bit when Durant comes back. I really could. James Harden is playing unbelievable right now, and Kyrie, for all of his issues, they made a great decision making Harden be the absolute point guard of that team and Kyrie being the 2, letting Harden run it. I don't think they're going to be overvalued in this game. I think the spread is going to be about 12.5. I think Brooklyn is going to roll. Then when Durant comes back, I think you're going to start to see some monster lines for Brooklyn, and they may start to coast a little bit in the second half of the season as they prep for the playoffs. But right now, I'd be on Brooklyn in this game against Houston.
All right, the third game I want to talk about features one of Kevin Durant's former teams, and that's Golden State at Portland. It wasn't that long ago that this game would have been the marquee game, not Utah-Philadelphia. We would have been all over Golden State-Portland as the game of the night. Both teams have been dealing with a ton of injury issues, but both teams still have their heads above water so far this year. They're both over 500. They've been a little erratic. If you look through the schedule for both of them, you'll see Golden State will win 3 in a row and then lose 2 in a row. Portland recently had a streak where they won 3 in a row after they had lost 4 in a row. So what do you see when you look at these two teams?
This is a really interesting game. And one of the things when you look at this game is for most of the teams, this Wednesday night will be their last game before the All-Star break. For these two teams, though, both Golden State and Portland, they both play again on Thursday. Golden State plays at Portland Wednesday and then has to go to a very good Phoenix team at Phoenix. Portland gets another game against Sacramento after this game. So taking a look at that, and I think these two teams are eerily similar, and you can see by the line, I believe it came out as a pick, and now Golden State's favored by a point. So obviously these are two even teams. I would lean Golden State here because I think Golden State will lay an egg against Phoenix tomorrow, and I would lean Golden State here because I think Portland destroys just an absolutely terrible Sacramento Kings team. So I'm taking a long, hard look.
Yeah, that's the way I was looking at this one also, but only kind of the opposite. I kind of like Portland here because I think we can run a little mini chase system on Portland here. I think you take Portland against Golden State. They are at home. Both these teams have been up and down. Draymond Green hurt his ankle. He's going to be a game-time decision. That's going to have a huge impact. I think we saw the line shift towards Golden State because I think he is going to play with the All-Star break on deck. But still, you take Portland. If they lose to Golden State, you come back over the top with them against the Kings in their last game. And if you lose betting against Golden State on Wednesday, you double down and bet again over the top with Phoenix. I'm with you. I think Phoenix is going to lay the wood to them, but it's going to be interesting to see what that number is. Okay, so I can't let you out of here without giving the viewers something for free. You got a free pick for them for Wednesday?
I sure do. And it's interesting. I'm going to stay in that last game that you were just talking about, because you could see you and I both kind of disagreed a little bit on the side of that game. Here's two trends I'm going to throw out at you when it comes to the total of that game. The last 35 times Portland and Golden State have played against each other, 25 times it's gone over the total. And in the last 22 meetings in Portland, it's gone over the posted total 17 times. So my free play for everyone out there is the over in that Golden State Portland game.
All right, there you go, people. That's it. Wednesday, NBA Hoops. He's Nolan Patrick. I'm Robert Feringo. You can find both of us at www.docsports.com. Cash in that free $60. Use it for our NBA package or college basketball or whatever you're into these days. We will see you again next week. Carpe diem and good luck.